Shaggy's classic 2000 hit, It Wasn't Me, is widely accepted by music critics as one of the great hits of the 2000s. And I'm not talking about the guy from Scooby-Doo. No, contrary to popular belief, there is a rich history behind this song, going back many years. Shaggy was born in 1928 in Dusseldorf, Germany. At a young age, the Great Depression struck, and his family had difficulty finding employment. To make matters worse, he was victimized as his parents fell victim to the Holocaust, forcing him to seek refuge under his very strict uncle, who immediately began training him in classical piano. He was under constant supervision and subject to many hours of practice every day. Years later, tragedy struck again. After his uncle was killed by typhoid, he immigrated to Wyoming, boarding a boat with a ticket he won while gambling. He met a very musical Jamaican man in the hustle and bustle of post-war America, and weeks after they became roommates, they started working on a little number they called It Wasn't Me. Originally, the song took inspiration from show tunes and had the backing of a professional jazz band. However, when Shaggy shopped the song around town, nobody was interested. Shaggy and his friend took work as janitors at a rest stop on a Wyoming interstate. Hours were long and nights were dark, but the pay was good and they were able to gain a respectable subsistence doing janitor work. Then, the worst came. In an effort to undermine the communist regime of Ho Chi Minh, President John F. Kennedy drafted troops into Vietnam, escalating the Cold War conflict. Shaggy, being a man committed to and proud of his country, was drafted into the war and sacrificed several years of his life and his right leg for our freedom. Decades after he came back, once he and his Jamaican counterpart were ready to retire, they were humming the melody to It Wasn't Me while mopping up a bathroom when a record executive kicked the stall door open, realizing that he had just found the next worldwide hit. They spent 2 years in the studio perfecting the track, and decades after its composition, It Wasn't Me finally found its rightful place at the top of the charts. It spent 99 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Critics described it as stunning, a shining example of authentic, genuine musical expression. Shortly after the success of It Wasn't Me, Warner Brothers sued Shaggy as they had received word that he had stolen his name from the famous Scooby-Doo cartoon. Also, 14 bodies were found underneath Shaggy's mansion. In response to the allegations, Shaggy simply said, "It wasn't me." Today, Shaggy sits on death row, awaiting execution via lethal injection. He has influenced a generation of musicians.